Canelo's been extremely durable over the years. One of his many assets is he seems to have one of the best chins in the game.
Wow.
I know you said you don't need to knock him out, you just need to beat him. But do you feel like you can hurt or even stop him?
Well, anybody can get hurt. Anybody can get, knocked out. I don't put it past nobody, but I'm not going in there looking for it.
I just want to know what number makes sense for you. What's fair?
I got $10 million for that fight.
That's a lie.
How you know that's a lie?
To fight Canelo?
Yeah.
That's a lie.
I'm doing it for the opportunity, baby.
Yeah, that's good.
The legacy.
That's good.
You hear me?
Yeah. You believe that?
Yeah, 100%.
All right. I like Crawford. All right. My brother fought Canelo, not me. I like Crawford in this fight, and he get to stay big. My brother even told me that was his mistake that he made. He thought going up in weight, I got to get massive, I got to get big to beat Canelo. It made him slower. It made his reflexes slower. He'll tell you himself. It didn't feel like the Jamal Charlo that y'all seen him fight Tony Harrison. Crawford, I feel like that's the same thing as happening. You want to get...
Terence Crawford isn't merely moving up in weight to battle Canelo Alvarez. He's issuing a statement, a knockout-level statement. This feels more like a personal crusade than a business plan. Crawford recently disclosed that he accepted just $10 million for this bout, significantly below what someone of his caliber usually earns. He emphasized that the motivation was never financial. It's about legacy, about doing what few have dared before. It's about becoming undisputed in 3 divisions, including one he's never fought in. And after knocking out Canelo, Crawford vows to drop back to 154 to reclaim undisputed glory and cement his status as his generation's finest.
I'm doing it for the opportunity, baby.
Yeah, that's good.
The legacy.
Now, 10 million for us is like, let's go. But for him in the stage in his career, I don't think 10 million does it. Chris Eubank just got north of 20 at him. So we could say he's not at the level of Bud. And Canelo's the face of boxing. So what y'all think? Y'all think he's telling the truth or he's really just going for legacy?
I got $10 million for that fight. I'm doing it for the moment, for the legacy. Legacy means more than money. 3-time undisputed. Coming soon. I may drop back to 154 and do it again, Crawford told Ak and Barack in a recent interview. That sort of mindset is increasingly rare in modern boxing, particularly at age 37. Crawford, a former undisputed champ at lightweight and welterweight, has nothing left to prove statistically. But this isn't about stats anymore. It's about achieving something timeless, a level of greatness reserved only for the rarest boxing icons of any era.
Dollars for that fight. How you know that's a lie?
To fight Canelo?
Yeah, I'm doing it for the opportunity, baby. The legacy.
That's good.
The legacy outweighed the money. 3-time undisputed. Ooh, coming soon. I might go back down to 54.
Right. To fight who?
And do it. I might go back down and do it again.
As you heard, the pound-for-pound king, Terence "Bud" Crawford.
What makes this challenge even more astonishing is that Crawford isn't easing into the 168-pound division. His first move is directly into a bout with Canelo Alvarez, a fighter who's reigned supreme at super middleweight for years. Canelo has thrived at 168 since 2018, most recently defending his titles against William Skull in May to reaffirm his undisputed status. Still, Crawford seems fully aware of the stakes and hasn't hesitated to say he's gunning for more than a win. The way he speaks, he's aiming for a KO, and if he gets it, boxing's entire balance could shift instantly.
Canelo, what can you take from sparring both of them to gauge what's gonna happen in September?
Preparation is gonna definitely be everything. Crawford adjusting to the 168 pound division. I know he's been sitting at a heavier weight for a while, but he's been showing his training and stuff. So that's definitely gonna help him. Canelo experience. You got Crawford got great experience as well. It's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a good chess match. I expect a great fight. If I had to favor somebody, I would just pick Canelo.
Still, the fight's scale isn't driven by Crawford's ambitions alone. It's that both fighters appear utterly sure of their own victory. Canelo, in a talk with The Ring, revealed he's still eyeing a Bivol rematch. That's the bout he truly desires, the one that lingers in his mind. I hope I get that second chance with Bivol. That's the only fight at 175 I'd want, Canelo said. But we'll see. He reflected on that loss, saying he wants to remind himself of the mistakes he made and to prove he's a better fighter than Bivol in a second meeting.
Proud about fighting here with my people and bringing this kind of fight for them. They deserve it, and it's more than I expect. Yeah, that's my goal this year. But you know, if that fight don't happen, we'll see. But that's my goal this year.
This shows that Canelo may be viewing Crawford more as a detour than a danger, and that's exactly the era Crawford might be hoping for. Curiously, both fighters act as though they've already secured greatness, which means a collision of egos is unavoidable. Their bout is locked in for September 13th and is already drawing considerable anticipation, even though the venue remains up in the air. When asked if Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas is still an option, Canelo responded, "We're still working it out, but we'll make sure the experience and everything surrounding it is the absolute best."
If Crawford's listening to this or Canelo's listening, what do you tell them about their fight?
Whoever wants to win will win. You know what I mean? I'm not being funny. Whoever wants to win will win.
The will overcomes everything. That's how you do it. I appreciate you. Great seeing you so much, and keep doing the good work.
Boxing experts have weighed in loudly, and their opinions are sharply divided. Former champion Tony Bellew made headlines with his take on the matchup. Canelo likes everything on his terms. He controls pace and tempo, but Crawford won't. Allow that. He'll stay busy, snipe shots, and I think he wins on the cards. Bellew added, "I get why Canelo's favored, but even greatness meets an end. And if I'm wrong, if Canelo manages to be the first to beat Crawford, he deserves immense credit. I'll give him all the props because no one's cracked the Crawford code yet."
I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out. From Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't do
obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not
Kovalev was older. He does. Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power, but all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill levels.
That's the electric energy building around this fight. Crawford has never been beaten. No opponent has solved him at 135, 140, or 147. Now he's skipping 154 entirely and challenging history. Meanwhile, Canelo has suffered just 2 defeats, one to Floyd Mayweather early on and another to Bivol in 2022. Outside of those, he's looked almost invincible at 168. Canelo holds the edge in weight familiarity and division dominance. But Crawford possesses an unteachable hunger, something deep and dangerous that can't be bought or faked. That's what makes this a clash worth watching.
We see the same result in your honest opinion, Oscar, or do you think 100% Canelo can beat a Bivol?
Yeah, there's no way he beats Bivol. There's just no way. I mean, styles make fights, and as much as I would want to see a Mexican win inside that ring, a national hero, there's no way he beats Bivol.
Caleb Plant, who once stood across from Canelo, offered a more measured perspective. "I'll give Crawford a chance. I really don't know who wins," Plant said. "Weight classes exist for a reason, sure. But Crawford's a unique guy, strong. Mind, strong skills, strong will." While he didn't name a winner, Plant highlighted what most agree on. Crawford is special. His discipline is extreme, his mental approach elite, and he fights like someone constantly underestimated. Despite his many accomplishments, he still enters every fight with the fire of someone with everything to prove.
Not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure towards somewhere near the top. And it's exciting. You know, Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox, southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside. And he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting.
Plant continued, saying, I think this Canelo-Crawford fight will be good for the fans. Bud's not the type to run all night. That's just not who he is. And Canelo doesn't do that either. So I believe fans will enjoy it. If that prediction holds true, the bout won't just make history. It'll be exciting too. High-level boxing often gets bogged down in strategy and caution. But with two fighters as determined and confident as these, we're unlikely to see a slow chess match. Instead, it's shaping up to be a fight of pride and heart.
His chances got better, at least the way how you were seeing things heading into the last fight with him and Skull?
I think it's a stylistic matchup, you know, and Williams Cole don't fight nothing like Terence Crawford. So we're not going to see the same type of fight come September. I think we're going to see a great fight, real good fight.
You and Terence have always had like a good relationship, but if he makes Canelo come off the top.
Still, not everyone is sold on Crawford's chances. Sebastian Fundora was blunt when asked. I don't think so, he said. Canelo's just more natural at 168. He's lived there for 4 or 5 years. Fundora didn't just focus on size. He also pointed out that Crawford has only fought once in the last year and will already be 38 by fight night. We saw a little decline in Crawford when he fought Israel Madrimov last year, he added. He didn't look as sharp or young. You could start seeing signs of aging set in.
Do you think Crawford beats Canelo in
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Why is that? Why do you?
This guy's more comfortable at 168. He's been fighting 168 for 4 or 5 years now. Crawford's a great fighter, but we'll see. Boxing, anything can happen.
Did it look like Canelo was slowing down against Skull?
No, I think it's just something he's uncomfortable with.
Two of boxing's biggest stars are on a collision course. May 31st, they'll show up.
He went further, saying that skipping a tune-up fight at 168 was risky and could leave Crawford unprepared. Put him in with someone like Bektemir Melikuziev, and he might lose, Fundora said. He even questioned Crawford's hunger, remarking, Bud's rich now, really rich, and like other wealthy athletes, sometimes they just don't grind as hard anymore. It's not hunger, it's comfort. Fundora also criticized fans who expect a war, suggesting Crawford will adopt a cautious approach, hit without getting hit, something that reminded him of what we've recently seen from Shakur Stevenson's style.
Canelo. I think he's gonna cook him. I think, Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools.
You don't think the weight difference is gonna be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something, in certain fights,
boxing makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would like apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's like physically kind of big, but like height wise, he's kind of small. So I don't think so. No.
Some fans have voiced their skepticism too. They believe Crawford is cashing out and won't actually try to win in a meaningful way. To them, he's just aiming to survive, staying mobile and doing just enough to avoid Canelo's power while sneaking in rounds. They see this more as a glorified sparring match. They admit Crawford's skill is undeniable, but they're not convinced he'll really go for broke in the ring. He's a great boxer, one fan said, but let's see if he actually comes to fight or just to coast through 12 rounds.
168, he's gonna fight again for undisputed for a second time at 168, so this is nothing uncomfortable to him. Terence Crawford's a great fighter, and of course we're starting to see that he can probably make 168 naturally, but again, it's a different division. 147, 168, 2 different divisions.
David Benavidez has now also shared thoughts on the blockbuster matchup. He praised Crawford's boxing brain, saying his IQ is on another level. He called him a great fighter with real strength. While he clearly respects Crawford's talent, Benavidez made it known that he sees weight as the deciding factor. Crawford's never fought at 168. That's 2 full divisions above where he's been most dominant. Benavidez even pointed out that Crawford started feeling size disadvantages at 154. So if that was noticeable, it will only be amplified against someone with Canelo's strength at super middleweight.
I think it's more important for Crawford than anybody, but I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Crawford could.
Yeah, I know you said like he could be the guy. What kind of a chance do you ultimately give him?
I think give him like a 7 out of a 10.
Oh wow, that high! I thought you were gonna say like 25.
Crawford is good. Crawford is good, and I think he's been known that he's gonna fight Canelo for a long time. And Crawford he likes to pick up the weight, so I'm sure he's been working on the.
Outside the ring, promoter Eddie Hearn weighed in with a perspective that went deeper into Crawford's overall place in boxing history. During a talk with YSM Sports Media, Hearn didn't hold back. He questioned Crawford's resume, even jokingly challenging him to name his most significant win. When Crawford mentioned Ricky Burns, Hearn didn't sugarcoat it. While Burns was a 3-division champion and a respected veteran, he isn't generally viewed as a Hall of Fame caliber name. Hearn seemed to be making a broader point about the quality of opposition Crawford faced during his prime years.
Crawford is going to do a lot of defense. Now, if he pulls off that win, dude, that's going to be one of the most biggest upsets of all time for this dude to go up that many weight classes. And now I do think that, he's going to get his little shots in as far as, finessing and all that, because his hands are definitely way faster.
Hearn argued that Crawford's resume lacked star names, not by his own fault, but due to timing and promotion. He pointed out that during Crawford's ascent, the marquee opponents either weren't available or willing. As a result, Crawford couldn't build the legendary resume fans typically associate with all-time greats. According to Hearn, Crawford might have beaten many iconic fighters from previous generations, but we'll never truly know. The opportunities just never materialized. And that absence of high-profile wins is what holds Crawford back in some people's eyes, even if his skills are among the best ever seen.
But even he acknowledges that Errol Spence, was probably a little bit. And Bud could beat all the greats, but he never really got the chance, and that's why this fight's really important for him and to him. And after watching Canelo against Skull, and I know it was Skull, and I just think he's the fresher guy in there, and I very rarely back against Canelo Alvarez, but
regarding how Crawford versus Canelo might unfold, Hearn offered a surprisingly uncertain opinion. He usually backs Canelo confidently, but here he hesitated. He noted that Crawford appears fresher at this point and said, "If there's ever a time for him to win, it's now." It's not typical for Hearn to hedge like this, especially with someone as familiar to him as Alvarez. That in itself says a lot. It shows the magnitude of this showdown, how evenly matched it feels despite the weight difference, and how Crawford's rise has shifted perceptions in the boxing world.
The others say no, that's 2 more weight classes. Once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him.
Another voice in the debate is Jamal Charlo, whose brother Jermell fought Canelo in 2023 and lost. Jamal was honest about what went wrong in that fight. Jermell tried bulking too much. He lost speed, lost his edge, he said. That strategy didn't pay off. Now, when it comes to Crawford, Jamal hopes he avoids repeating the mistake. Crawford's strength isn't size, it's movement, timing, control, he emphasized. Trying to outmuscle Canelo could backfire. Instead, he thinks Crawford needs to stick to what's made him elite: intelligence, angles, and never trying to outgun bigger men.
Let me tell you what I think should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jamal Charlo already proved that.
Charlo remained supportive of Crawford, but voiced one major concern. Crawford's identity might shift too much at 168. He won't be the same guy who lit up Gamboa or destroyed Spence, Charlo warned. Moving up isn't just about size. It's about rhythm, speed, how your body responds. He explained that in trying to match Canelo physically, Crawford could compromise the very tools that made him legendary. It's a dangerous gamble. Adapting too much to Canelo's world could strip Crawford of what's uniquely his fluidity, his reflexes, and that unpredictability that's baffled opponents for over a decade.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this in the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat him.
The fight's promotional angle has also drawn attention, particularly what it might mean going forward. A major question among insiders is whether a Canelo win would finally lead to a showdown with David Benavidez. Benavidez is now at light heavyweight and holds a WBC title at 175. Yet fans continue dreaming of a Canelo-Benavidez clash. However, Benavidez's outspoken father poured cold water on that idea. In an interview with Fight Hub TV, he said Canelo Crawford might be dull. He pointed to Canelo's low-output bout against William Skull, suggesting this matchup lacks the spice needed for real excitement.
Bad for boxing for David Benavidez to fight Canelo Alvarez. He would, to be honest, I would say that he would send him to a hospital. The body's not the same no more. David's super strong, young, and I believe that fight will never happen.
That sentiment isn't shared by everyone, but it captures a split in how people view this fight. Some think Crawford is risking it all to capture a third undisputed crown, trying to settle his legacy once and for all. Others argue he's walking into hostile territory, a weight class unfamiliar to him, against a man who's mastered it. They fear he's underprepared, but if Crawford feels any doubts, he doesn't show it. He speaks with conviction, as if this moment is tailor-made, to reveal something special, something even greater than his already historic accomplishments in boxing.
Crawford, Canelo, who you got?
Crawford, Canelo? I still say Canelo.
I got Canelo too.
I still say Canelo. Ring IQ, I believe that Crawford has a bit more.
Yeah.
However, it's just the size difference. I think that where Crawford is lacking is that he should test the waters even with somebody at that weight class before facing Canelo. But hey, they say he's a dog, he's got...
And when it's done, if he wins, Crawford already knows what comes next. He's going back to 154. He wants to become undisputed there again for a record 4th time. To him, this isn't a pit stop or swan song. It's another chapter, and simply winning won't satisfy him. He wants to dominate, drop back down, and keep breaking limits others won't even approach. But do you actually see him pulling it off, like he predicts? Drop a comment, and don't forget to hit subscribe for all the latest updates and insights on this incredible boxing showdown.